Hello and welcome to the Tea and a Buddy podcast. I'm Dominic.
And I'm Erica.
Today's episode is going to be about English football and the hooliganism that has unfortunately tainted it.
Yes.
As I'm sure you might be aware by now, if you care about football at all, England lost against Italy on penalties in the European Cup final.
They might be aware even if they don't care.
Yeah, because I mean, if you listen to us or look at our Instagram, which is TEABUTTY, T-Buddy.
Yeah.
Then you've probably seen all the stories, and we've been following it. And it was a good tournament. It was a good game. It was a very good game, actually. I mean, congratulations to Italy and everything. But
I am a new fan.
You're a new fan. You're a convert.
And you're a newfound, or a new, not new.
I'm
not
a
new,
renewed fan.
Renewed
fan. Well, the thing is, I'm one of those people, and I think I reposted it on Instagram, actually.
Fair weather fan. I think that's what they call them over here.
One of these people who only really gets interested in soccer or football when there's a major tournament like the European Championships or the World Cup going on. Because then it's like national team, It's like, oh yeah, this is good. And that's what happened this year. And the last time I was really interested in football was World Cup 98. And that was a long time ago.
Some of our listeners weren't even born then.
I think all of you weren't born then, were you? We're the oldest people here. No, it's funny because, it's just kind of like, when I'm watching it and we're thinking about Euro 96 and Gareth Southgate was managing the England team. I'm kind of like, yeah, I remember watching him play, for England and, the missed penalty, which England's heartbreak continues with that. There was 3 missed penalties.
Did any of you watch it? Let us know
if you watched it and what your thoughts are on it. And
it seemed like our Instagram feed, there were a lot of people who seemed to be watching it.
We follow a lot of British people, so they couldn't really escape it.
And Americans who were into Britain.
yeah, that's true
people
too.
Having their
Anglophiles, as they're called.
People having their little watch parties at home. I thought it was really interesting.
It was like the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Except there was no halftime show.
Yeah. Yeah, God.
Or adverts. You see? Yeah, I mean, it's just about the game.
Yeah.
And I mean, you were talking about it during the game. You're like, oh yeah, you just can't look away.
Yeah.
You cannot look away during the thing. Even, can you imagine being there, though?
Well, because
and you're just like, they're just passing it back between Italy, are just passing it back between, you turn it to go, oh yeah, it's just a bit of boring play, just talking about how are you doing, blah, 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 and it's like, whoa,
I thought for a second, you should be live tweeting this, you should tweet, because that was really exciting.
You can't do it.
In the first 2 minutes of the game, England scored.
Yeah.
So it was like, oh my God.
And you missed it, didn't you?
Did I?
Yeah, I think you missed it. You were
Maybe.
like, oh, I missed it. I didn't have it on upstairs.
Oh, because I was working. I was trying to get finished with some work I was doing, and I was like, okay, we're only 2 minutes in. It'll be fine. I'll just get finished.
It's just get finished.
And I was like, oh no.
And I was like, what? You don't have it on upstairs? Because I had it on downstairs.
Yeah, I did have it on, but I was looking at the computer screen.
And, they scored within 2 minutes, and of course, everybody thought, it's coming home, that's it, and it's like, and it should have just, we could have just all gone home then, that would have been fine. But Italy leveled, and it was just a tense game. It went to penalties, and if you don't know what they are, they're basically, that decides the game. Best out of 5, 3 spot kicks at the goal.
Yeah.
And we were so close, it was 3-2. England lost, by a point because, and I mean, it happens. It's a lottery. Penalties are a lottery, and it's like, what we wanted to talk about today is because we know how a minority of England fans are, because they are a minority, but unfortunately they get turned into a majority because of media coverage and everything like that. And this is something that has plagued the game, domestic teams and international, and it happens with, it's not just England, it happens, in other countries too and everything like that, but in England it seems rife.
Yeah.
Especially with it's been going on, it's since the game was invented. in medieval times.
Yeah.
There's been football hooliganism.
Well, they act like it is medieval times, these three.
Well, yes, exactly. Yeah, and it's one of those things that is just so.
Well, okay, back up.
We're gonna back up. Yeah.
Describe what we mean when we say hooliganism, though.
It's basically you go to, say, like, you go to a game, and it's England versus Italy or England versus Germany or whatever, and you're just going to a game. You want to go see a football match. You want to go see a soccer match.
Yeah.
And there's that group of supporters who are wearing England shirts.
Yeah.
They are drunk out of their minds, and the kickoff hasn't even happened yet. They are absolutely drunk. They're setting flares off, and they're screaming obscenities at, like, fans of the other team. I'm sure they did with the Italian. They're burning the Italian flag and all this nonsense.
Oh, yeah.
They're trying to beat them up.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, that's not nice.
Well,
that's not good.
We saw in somebody's Instagram story.
Yeah.
The Italian bus with the players driving into the place.
It was Rob Beckett's Instagram story.
And
he called it out right then when he saw it. He goes, "Oh, come on, guys, that's not,
because everybody's already drunk, and even if they're not drunk, I mean, it makes
they're
it worse.
Three sheets
if
to
they're
the
not
wind,
drunk.
like hours before the event, and I mean, it's like, that's fine. You go to a game, you get a little drunk, you sing the songs, you say, "Come on, England," you get, just like, "Where," and you go home. Win or lose, you go home happy because you saw football, because you love football.
Yeah.
You don't go because, oh, this is a war between me and Garibaldi over there. It's like, oh, we've got 3 lines on our show. We're gonna beat them up. And, and it's just like, absolutely, and it happens between domestic teams as well. Like, oh, we're gonna get that Chelsea scum. We're gonna get that Man United scum when they come down here.
But what is it? But what is it about Britain that makes British people have this reputation, and other fans of other countries' soccer teams, they don't have this same kind of reputation. They don't.
I mean, they don't. I mean, surely
it is the drinking.
It's the drinking. It's the boozing, and it's like, you're not. It's like you're sitting in a pub, and I don't know. I was reading so many, like, stories on, like, Twitter and stuff. I go, oh, my Italian friend was the only supporter in this pub full of England supporters. Yeah. And he got up and sang the national anthem when it came on and stuff like that. And then after the game, this guy tried to beat him up.
Oh, for God's
And the bouncers freaking got him out of there. And it's just like, why do you do that? Yeah. Why are you looking for a fight? It's a game.
I think that this could
it's
easily...
only a game, but it's a good game, It's like...
I think that this could easily become a discussion about denormalizing the drinking culture in Britain.
Because, it's so normal.
I don't see anything wrong with having a drink, but obviously it's a problem.
Have a drink, get a little
people.
bit merry, sing a song, just like, get laughing, just like, yeah, see that guy over there? Oh, he just got fouled. What what's going on?
Because I would almost go so far as to say that half of the fans there, they're not even there for the game. They are there to get drunk.
I don't know. I mean, I can't say
why
half
else
of
would you get so wasted that you don't even know what's going on the field? I saw videos of guys, like, falling over seats onto other people.
There was some kind of, like, there was some kind of controversy where people who didn't have tickets to the game were trying to get in, and they were trying to barge into the stadium.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and it was kind of a mess. And people were getting, and it was just like...
Were they drunk, though, or...?
Of course they were. If they were sober, then England's got a serious problem with that, then, It's like, and you can't just go, oh, well, I was so drunk, I can't remember what I did last night. Did I kill a guy?
Yeah.
It's like, it's just absolutely ridiculous.
It's a problem. It's a problem.
It's a problem, and it's also a problem
And British people just like to go, oh, no, it's not a problem. Oh, it was just a laugh. It was just a laugh, wasn't it?
It was just a laugh. It was just a laugh, mate. Didn't mean anything by it. But then, you've got this kind of stuff like, they get, like, tribal when they go to a game.
Yeah.
Some of these people. And they're sitting in the stands. And this kind of like, after England, it kind of almost started after England won the World Cup in 1966.
Yeah.
That's when hooliganism became kind of started to become really a problem in English football.
Yeah.
Like with the clubs. Like, like people would come on and they'd be like, oh, and they'd be spitting and throwing stuff onto the pitch. So in the 1970s, they cracked down on it. The government were like, right, that's it.
Yeah.
Football stadiums were going to have steel fences. You can't get on the pitch.
Mm-hmm.
You can't spit or throw anything and whatever. You can yell as much as you like, but you can't harm the players,
Yeah.
So, like these steel fences were built. And it's like, then those were a factor in the Hillsborough disaster of 1989 when the police made a massive error. It was a FA Cup final between Liverpool and Nottingham Forest in Hillsborough Stadium, which is Sheffield Wednesdays.
Mm-hmm.
And Liverpool fans, they were, I guess it was the stewards or the police, they were at fault for letting too many fans into the pens, to watch the game.
Yeah.
And the kickoff had already begun. Liverpool almost scored, and it was like these surge of people trying to get in to see.
Mm-hmm.
And they crushed about 93 people were killed. And they crushed everyone pretty much. It was like such an overflow.
Yeah.
And it was all Liverpool fans and stuff. And I mean, it's been talked about in media since then. It was like the worst sporting disaster in English history and stuff like that. That they had to climb these fences trying to get out because like people were dead. People had been crushed to death.
Mm-hmm.
And they were shouting at the Liverpool goalie Bruce Grobbelaar, "Oh, can you help us? They're killing us!" And he was like in the game. He was like, "What are you talking about? It's just like they weren't aware of anything going on until they started spilling over, and the police were like, "Oh, they're trying to get a pitch invasion. These Liverpool fans.
Yeah.
How dare they?" But he was like, "We're literally dying in there because you've let so many people in, and we're being crushed."
Yeah.
And so they suspended play, and it was just a terrible disaster. And I think they started, oh well, we've got to get rid of those steel fences now. And I mean, fans,
There's got to be
some.
Who was at fault there? It's like people didn't have to push and act like animals. Well, no, I mean, I'm not blaming the ones who were crushed and everything.
No, it wasn't. It was not their fault. It was the police's fault. For letting too many people into the stadium, into that thing, and not diverting them into other pens, into other areas.
I mean, I don't know really what we're talking about. So
it's a touchy issue, especially in Liverpool, because afterwards the Sun got hold of the police line and blamed the fans of Liverpool, and it was definitely not the fans' fault, because they were just there to watch the game. They've
it seems like a fire hazard, if nothing else. For there to be big fences in the way and no.
I've studied it a little bit
route.
more, the whole disaster and stuff, and there's been like stampedes and stuff like that happened before, but this was like the worst because they were like trying to like get over, and the police weren't listening to them.
Yeah,
and the police should have known that they were letting so many people into one pen, bottlenecking them in.
Yeah.
And people who were coming in, they didn't know. They thought, oh, this pen is, it's not full to capacity. But anyway, those steel fences, I think they've come down now.
Yeah.
But hooliganism still reigns, and the abuse now with social media and everything, like that. The three who missed the penalties, Marcus Rashford, Jadon Sancho, and Bukayo Saka, they all missed their penalties against Italy.
Yeah.
Or that they were saved and stuff. And of course, the racists come out online because they all happen to be black. They happen to be black players.
Yeah.
And it's just like, this you are not a true fan. if you were blaming the player for missing a penalty.
Yeah, I mean, I saw, like, it didn't even occur to me that they were all black. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, it was, you know, because Harry Kane scored and he's white, and...
It's like, I just felt sick for them for missing it, because it's not like they missed it on purpose. You know what I mean?
England put out a statement saying we're disgusted that some of our squad who have given everything for the shirt this summer have been subjected to discriminatory abuse online after tonight's game.
Yeah.
We stand with our players. And it's just like, they did. They got to a final.
It's freaking
ridiculous. The first final in 55 years.
Even more ridiculous than blaming them, than, you know, their race or whatever. Apparently, they had to put out a thing like, just black people in Britain in general were under threat after the game, because just for what? For being black.
For losing because it was Saka's fault or it was Rashford's fault.
Unbelievable.
And it's like, you know, I'm thinking about this and I'm thinking, yeah, in Colombia, I think it was during one of the World Cups. I think it might have been either World Cup 98 or 94 maybe.
Yeah.
The goalkeeper missed, I think it was either a penalty or he let one in and, you know, knocked Colombia out. As soon as he got off the plane in Colombia, someone shot him dead.
Unbelievable.
Someone shot him dead.
Well, there you go. I mean, you know, I said before it was only English fans. Colombian fans as well.
I mean, because the Copa America is going on down in South America now, and I think Argentina won. I'm not sure. I mean, I don't know, but yeah. I mean, it's you know, down in South America and Mexico and all that. It's serious. Football is serious.
It's ridiculous. It's like over here. I mean, it's a sort of a similar thing, and it has to do with drinking.
It's boozing. Yeah, it's absolute boozers.
But what's ridiculous, I don't know if it happens in Britain. Over here, like after a team wins a Super Bowl, that team's city is usually destroyed. Because
win or lose, that would have happened anyway. You know, if England won, the place would have been destroyed.
Yeah.
If England lost, they would have been destroyed. You know, it would have been destroyed because of drunk people.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to smash up cars and loot whatever, you know.
Throw bricks through store windows and things, yeah. I mean, it does not make any sense to me, and it does kind of ruin the whole thing.
Well, it diminishes England's standing on the world stage, you know, if Brexit didn't do that enough.
Yeah.
And, you know, now that in the sporting world, it just makes, you know, it just makes people, and, you know, there's English football fans who refuse to support England and were rooting for Italy because I can't support a team that has those horrible people who are supporting them, you know.
I saw fans of some of the other teams that were still in it at the time. They didn't want to play England. They didn't want England to win, you know.
They didn't want it. There was like, no, because it's like these people use it as a like, oh, I'm at war.
Yeah.
This is a war against Italy. We've defeated Italy in a great war, or we've defeated Denmark in a great war. Or Ukraine or whatever. And it's just like, it's not an army. It's not a war.
It's a game.
It's a game.
Another disgusting thing that I saw, aside from the racism, was that women had to be careful. And I remember seeing this, I think, was it during the World Cup last time?
Yes.
There were commercials. And I was, like, shocked about this because it's not something that ever really crossed my mind.
Yeah.
But they ran these commercials, I think it was during the World Cup a few years ago. I don't know if you remember.
2018.
We were watching just something, I think, on BBC or ITV or I don't know what. And this commercial came on that was like, oh, please don't, if England loses, please don't abuse me or whatever. And it was like these women. Yeah. It was just women. It was kind of like black and white from what I can remember. Yeah. These women are standing there with no makeup on. They're like, I'm the face of whoever, and I'll be abused tonight if England loses, or, you know, and I'll be rushed to the, you know. And
it's like, yeah, because domestic violence has statistically spiked when England loses. And it's kind of like,
now that is disgusting.
It's disgusting, and it's disgusting because those people would do it anyway, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, not if England won or anything like that, but they just use England losing as an excuse.
Yeah.
To beat, their wife up or whatever. And it's just like, yeah, they're going to do that anyway. So people going, yeah, England,
It's a game.
It's a game. It's all England. It's all the England players' fault. It's all the England team's fault that, people do this. It's like, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not football's fault. It's just the people who decide, oh, I'm a football fan, so yeah, I'm actually, because I mean that was
again. I have to blame the drinking though.
Gang violence, right? It's connected to foot because there was a lot of people going, yeah, and they're not interested in the game. They're not interested in anything. All they're interested in doing is turning up and beating up the other gang that's there.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we'll use the football as a cover for our gang fight, Okay. And that's how it's all kind
amongst England fans.
Amongst England fans, yeah. Okay. I mean, this is like like domestic teams, like say like Chelsea come, and we'll get those Chelsea scum, and they're supporting Arsenal, but they're not.
Yeah.
They're not. Mm-hmm. They're not football fans at all. They probably don't even have a clue about any of the players, or, what the plays are or anything like that, It's just like they're just there to, like, get the Chelsea scum or get the Arsenal scum or get the West Ham scum or whatever. It's just like you're just using this as an excuse to have a fight.
Yeah.
And that's all you care about.
I mean, knowing that it was that hardcore, I really felt so bad for those guys that missed the kicks because I was worried for like their mental health because you just knew that they were going to be abused.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was like, I hope that they like are surrounding themselves with people who are supporting them and stuff because that is a lot,
It's a lot. And I mean, the players, that is a bloody good England team right there.
They were really good.
They got to the final.
Mm-hmm.
That is history made right there.
Yeah.
Win or lose. It was like, that's what I was thinking about. I was like, yeah, they made it to their first final in 55 years.
No, they played really,
like that's
really well.
That's a World Cup winning team right there. They didn't win the Euros, but maybe they can win the World Cup.
Because I know a lot of people were saying that they didn't really deserve to be there. They had kind of lucked out in their first couple of games of the tournament or whatever. And I thought that they proved that they deserved to be there playing Italy. And Italy was just a better team. That being said, Italy played really dirty, I thought.
They got like 4 yellow cards or something.
And
then there was that blatant foul by the captain.
Oh my God.
And it was against Saka. I mean, the memes are out there, he grabbed his shirt.
Yeah.
And pulled him back from making a play.
He slammed him on the ground.
And then tried to help him because, what happened there?
Yeah.
In front of the linesman, in front of the assistant referee, they called it now.
Because it didn't matter to him. It was just like, get the ball out, get it out of play, basically.
Well, it wasn't get it out of play. It was to stop because Saka was about to make a break. He wasn't offside.
Yeah, we were going, go, and then
he grabbed his shirt to pull him down. Literally pulled him down.
He slammed him.
He got a free kick out of it.
Oh
it wasn't because the ref wasn't made. But anyway,
that kind of thing would have erupted into a fight. I feel like.
Oh yeah, it's lucky it didn't.
In this country.
It's lucky it didn't.
Between the players, I mean, because that's enough. Like, you don't slam me on. You don't. He like strangled him as well because he grabbed the back of his shirt and the shirt went into his throat like that, like to the point until he slammed him on the ground. I was just like, no.
It's like, well, no, that just shows the discipline of the team right there. If that had been the Euro '96 team, right, I can see Paul Gascoigne going over and having a go at him. There
was like no anger on that kid's face either. Saka, is that what you're saying?
Saka, yeah, and he was the one who missed the last penalty too.
Yeah, I know, poor thing. There was no anger on his face. I mean, maybe I have more of a temper than him. He has a good temperament apparently, because I would have been pissed. I'm sorry, I would have just been like
another person. I mean, I know Italy won, but Chiesa, who was a striker for Italy. he so wanted to. He was the one who was like, "Can't feel my leg."
Yeah.
He so wanted to score.
Yeah.
He was so wanted to score so badly. You could see it on his face every time he'd made a shot.
He was drenched because he was just running and trying so hard. Poor guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I didn't really care, to be honest, who won. It was just a good game.
It was a good game. It was so close too.
After
it wasn't
England
like
scored the first,
Italy thrashed England or anything like that.
After England made the first point, then I was like, okay, now Italy needs to make a point, to keep it like close and tense and everything, and they did. And I was like, okay, England needs to score again now, but they didn't.
I'm just picking it up because when it comes down to penalties, it's a lottery, and it's just so.
Oh yeah, that's terrible. I don't like that.
Yeah, there's been arguments whether they should eliminate that, but it's like then you'd have like baseball.
It just goes on.
It just goes on and on and on forever, and it's just like, you can't. 90 minutes.
You could though. No, you couldn't, because those guys are running back and forth for an hour and a half, 2 hours. They are exhausted.
The action is always on. It's not like baseball where there's timeouts and or American football even, where there's like everyone's blowing the whistle and then they're just standing around or whatever. Strategizing or whatever. It's just it's just non-stop. And sometimes, with that being said, you can have like a like in the early games of like a tournament, they're just kind of like yeah, they're kind of
it's a shame, because just watching these few games that I've seen now, it's a really fun game. It's pretty easy to follow. It's simple. It's pretty
ball goes in the back of the net for your team, you're up.
Yeah, 90 minutes goes by surprisingly quickly although the whistle did start getting blown a lot in the second half.
The ref was making some calls instead of just letting the teams play on.
But in the first half, the whistle hardly gets blown. Like, it's just constant, just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and it makes the time go by really quickly. So it's a shame that the fans kind of they just take the fun out of it, really.
Yeah.
It's probably more fun to just watch it on television than to actually be there, maybe.
I think I'm going to go out on a limb here and say, if you go with a good group of people and you've got a good section, I mean, I'm going to say the people who are there, right, are actual fans. It's the ones in the pubs across the road from the stadium. Yeah. Watching it on Sky Sports and getting really, and not really paying attention to the game. They're just like, oh, did England score? Yeah.
Do people tailgate at the arenas like they do with football over here?
I don't think they do. I mean, I'm not sure because I've never been to a professional one. Yeah, so no, I think they just turn up and they go in and then they're just hanging about.
Drinking happens over here too.
Yeah, and it's not saying we're not saying, oh, don't drink and go to a match. Because I mean, you can get drunk, you can have a good time. You've had you're slightly buzzed. You're watching the match. I mean, because at the end of the day, you're in the stadium. You're watching it on the big screen anyway, aren't you? Because you can't really see from wherever you are on the. And some good-natured, if you're at the far end of the stadium.
Some good-natured ribbing amongst
just like, oh, that was a foul, because I can imagine people
if you see someone in an England jersey, to make a little kind of like,
oh, the enemy,
yeah,
it's just like oh, the enemy, but it's like it's not like, oh, I'm gonna do him later on,
but to be serious about it, like,
that's just
get him
out of order.
Like, are you
that's bang out of order.
I don't know, it's really
bang out of order, mate.
Really, it's just disgusting, really.
It is. And I mean, congratulations to Italy. They won the European Championship.
Congratulations to both teams. England played awesome.
Yeah. The players. So, here's to the World Cup next year, December.
Is that when it is?
Yeah.
Oh, that's soon.
And I mean, if England get knocked out early in the World Cup, we'll have to find another team to support.
We'll support Italy, then. I mean,
we'll support Italy, or we'll support the USA, because the USA might do well.
Yeah, that'll
You never know. That'll be fun.
That'll be fun if the USA does well.
I mean, they did pretty well in the last World Cup, I think. I think they got down to was it the quarterfinals? I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, we promise this will be the last soccer.
The men's team, anyway.
talk that we do for quite a while.
Yeah, okay, we're done with the football talk now. We're going on to the tennis. No.
Oh, no.
Anyway, yeah, I mean, thanks for listening.
Yeah.
You can check us out on Instagram, Tea and a Buddy. Oh, is it Tea and a Buddy or is it Tea Buddy?
Tea Buddy.
Yeah, I just said that.
Oh, this is why I do the outro.
Yeah, this is why you do the outro. Because you can always remember, you see.
Thank you so
Still
much.
distraught.
Thank you so much for listening. As always, we appreciate your support so much. Be sure to check us out on social media. We are at TeaButty, TeaButty on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And we will talk to you next time.
Talk to you next time, everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye.